Offaly begin this qualifier with Derek Morgan replacing the injured Cathal Parlin at left half back, and another couple of changes in attack. The first of these sees Derek Malloy in from the start this time in place of Conor Mahan on the 40, while there's a start as well at full forward for Dan Currams, a goal scorer against Kilkenny. As it happens, Waterford also make three changes from the side which lost to Clare in Munster. There's a recall in goal for Stephen O'Keefe and a first start at right corner back for Shane Fives, whose younger brother wears the number 7 jersey. The third change sees Brian O'Sullivan return to the starting 15, and he's at left corner forward. Interestingly, it's Offaly who won the toss, and they are playing against the wind for the opening 35 minutes of this match. All the way in there, Hurling gathers it beautifully. Played outside here once again. Kieran Slevin has come deep into the hands of Kevin Brady. Played forward, out comes Liam Lawler. And Lawler, the Waterford fullback, a commanding figure. And there's a loose man here, and it's Jake Dillon who got the opening goal against Clare. He gets the opening point here, and a long ball down into the hands of Jake Dillon, and once Dillon got free, it was straight over the bar. Battling there is Egan in the yellow helmet for Offaly, helped out here by Derek Malloy, happy to carry it into the wind. It's that kind of afternoon or evening here. On there as far as Kieran Slevin, looking for his first championship score. Goalkeeper comes out, bats it out here, needs his full-back to try and help him. Liam Lawler, oh, he's giving it away here. Shane Dooley, what a goal! Great shot, but it should have been cleared. 7 minutes are gone. That pass was intercepted, and Shane Dooley was onto it in a flash, and that is his 11th ever championship goal. Morgan pursued there by Seamus Prendergast. One back once again here, Kevin Brady this time. And Brady's onto it again here, about to be challenged by Kevin Moran, but before Moran can get to him, runs all the way in there towards Dan Currams, and Currams is a tricky character, trying to make an angle for himself here. Has a support player, doesn't use him, and puts it over the bar. Good score by Daniel Currams. Stephen O'Keefe pucking it out over towards left half forward this time, towards Seamus Prendergast. Took up a good position. Rory Hannafy rather got his stick in, did really well, but it's knocked out over the sideline. Shane O'Sullivan cutting it up here. Tricky situation here for the Offaly backs to contain, and it comes back towards Maurice Shanahan from Jamie Barron, and his shot sails over. 3 points now for Maurice Shanahan. That's the first to come from play. Winning his duel against David Kenny, but getting the pass back there from Jamie Barron to make it 1-2 to 5 points. Well, there's a great deal of tension. You can feel it among the players right now. Whoever loses here is out of senior hurling until 2014. This ball has come up here once again as far as Kevin Brady, and Kevin Brady strikes it magnificently. His first point of this qualifier game. Well, he got loose and he had the opportunity, and he wasn't going to miss the opening that came his way, and so the gap, the lead, has been cut down to 2 points. Puck out all the way down here. Dermot Malloy has switched across to right corner back, in as far as Hurling. Hurling shortens the grip on the stick and gives Kieran Slevin some work to do. Not able to reach it first, however. Kevin Moran did. Back out as far as Maurice Shanahan. 5 points so far, and you can make it 6. That's a beauty. 3 from freeze, 3 from play, and Maurice Shanahan's getting a bit more latitude, having come out onto the 40 and got away from David Kenny. He's now being marked by Ger Hurling. That's a lovely point. 10 points to 1-3. Match which started about 5 minutes late because of the large crowds wanted to get in and were arriving late at O'Connor Park, so it was held up for them. Shane O'Sullivan hand passing it back here to Brodie Prendergast and shooting it from about 50 metres and putting it over the bar, his first ever point in championship hurling. Really good work by the young man who made his debut against Clare a couple of weeks ago. Took the pass in his stride and hit it beautifully. Lovely hand pass, first intervention by Claudie Mahoney. Good play inside beautifully as far as Maurice Shanahan. This will make a great score if he can put it over, but yes, he has. He's put it over the bar. Great score. That's 7 points for Maurice Shanahan. Fabulously choreographed move. Great finish. We've now almost played 6 minutes of additional time. Shane O'Sullivan again, dodging this way and that. Helian's after him. Nobody able to catch up with him. Supports arrives. Seamus Prendergast looking for Brian O'Sullivan, from whom we've seen very, very little in this match. Makes an angle for himself. That's more like it. That's beautifully over the bar. Well, that is the kind of score that might set Waterford up now. It's just given them a little bit more of a lead coming in towards half-time. And once again, Kevin Moran dropping it high up into the forwards up there towards Seamus Prendergast, and he's got it in a dangerous situation. And was he taken down? The referee says play on. Eventually he blows the whistle and gives nothing to Seamus Prendergast, when Waterford fans were probably waiting for a penalty. Just watch now. Prendergast took it down, no foul there. Challenged, but still, at the end it looked like Kenny just fell on top of him. At the other end it's Joe Bergen who takes it free, and Joe Bergen puts it over the bar. Good response there by Offaly. This is where Joe Bergen got possession here, took off past Shane Fives and put that ball beautifully between the posts. Stephen O'Keefe, and O'Keefe's clearance into the middle beyond Paddy Prendergast favours Brian Carroll instead. Back in once more, dangerously high and over the bar. 2 in a row by Brian Carroll, playing in his 40th championship match for Offaly this evening in front of a big crowd at O'Connor Park. He's now put just 1 between them. It's 13 points to 1-9. It's getting a little dark here at O'Connor Park, but it'll be even darker in about 25 minutes time for one of these teams if they go out of the championship. Kevin Brady shoots, and Kevin Brady fires it over the bar, and the teams are level. Up into the corner to Brian O'Sullivan, a point in each half so far. Takes on Chris MacDonald. MacDonald tries to get the stick in, very near the end line. Well controlled by Brian O'Sullivan, and the Ballygunner player gets it across here. It's intended for Paddy Mahoney. Mahoney's got it. Oh, well blocked down. Helian's after it. That was a goal chance. This is where Paddy Mahoney was in, and the block came in by a couple of defenders, one of them Ger Helian, and the danger fizzed out. That's balanced and controlled by Paddy Prendergast, demanding a lot of Maurice Shanahan to come and get it, but he's well and truly able to do that. Morecambe was looking at the linesman. Maurice Shanahan kept going, and Maurice Shanahan has hit it between the posts and put it over the bar. 12 points, a magnificent score. Can you believe it? Only 23, and he's done so much and achieved an awful lot, and that is a great score. I make it 2.5 minutes are left, and the battling qualities of Waterford once again been tested here. Once again it's Conor Mahan playing it in there. Oh, here's a chance. Curran's great save. How about that from Stephen O'Keefe? You'll hardly see a better one. Comes out to Shane Dooley, and Dooley is stopped again by O'Keefe. Prods it back out as far as Shane Fives. A double save, but the first one was absolutely brilliant. So we wait for the referee's whistle, and there it is. Waterford have come to Offaly's home at O'Connor Park, and they have turned in a real tour de force for Michael Ryan and his management team. It is Waterford who make progress, and they will play Westmeath next. It's Offaly who go out of the championship. Final score here, it is Waterford 21 points, Offaly 1 goal and 14.
This isn't an easy place to come. Kilkenny came up here 2 weeks ago and had to win a battle. We had to win a battle as well. I with huge respect for Offaly Hurling, but at the end we dug it out, and I think it will only benefit the team going forward.
It's 22nd of June. That's our championship season over now. We won't be out again competitive till next February. So, I mean, that's not good for them guys inside there. They're going into hibernation now for the next 8 months, and I mean, like, for them lads to get better, they need to be out playing hurling and playing hurling on a regular basis. Like you can see from the performance they put in against Kilkenny and against Waterford that we can certainly live at this level, and we need more games at this level to kind of gather confidence and a bit of self-belief, but it's very difficult with the current setup.
Okay, we'll discuss that point made by Ali in a moment. But Cyril, you were there last night. You really enjoyed the game.
Yeah, a great game, Des. Like, you know, and I know this question, Waterford. Like, you know, these lads are great players. Now, Offaly played very well too. Offaly won the toss, went against a strong breeze. We're only 4 down going in at half time, and it looked good enough. At one stage, second half, they drew level. But like Brick Welch and these guys, when they got going, like, they're immense hurlers. Like, we heard about Dan Shannon, but Morris isn't Dan's brother anymore. Dan is Morris's brother. He got 13 points last night, 8 from play. And like, you know, Stephen O'Keefe and goals. These guys are very good. Here's in the first half now. Brick wasn't as influential as the second half because the puck outs are coming shorter. Brick can hold back in the pocket, and Offaly won a lot of ball puck outs and scored great scores against the breeze. Yeah. But like as the game went on here, like you see this ball breaking in again, he's not in the game at all. Really, I'd kind of wonder because he's very influential. Here Offaly bursting through again, taking on. Offaly had very good in the air, taking on the backs and getting frees in, and they really bothered Waterford early on. And people around me, even the stand Waterford, were saying, "Where is the Brick?" But like once they got their half back down to the second half organised, Jamie Nagle, Brick Welch, and when Prendergast went back, wing back as well, then the whole thing started to change. Now here he is again in the second half, starting to mop up, and he just doesn't belt the ball away. He feeds it all time. He's deadly under a high ball, catches, kind of just ambers out through them, has a little look and a flick away again. He did this all night, and like the breeze is coming in, and once the half back line got really on top, they started kind of dominating. Like he started motoring through here at this stage, probably going to get fouled here eventually. Like, you know, and he's on a roll at this stage. Once he got moving, half back line got on top, Waterford, if they converted half their chance that they put wide, they could have won very easily. Now Offaly played well, but Waterford have a serious team, and they will be strong contenders as they go on down the road.
Okay, but don't look, if they are to be strong contenders, you feel there's 1 or 2 areas they need to tidy up.
Yeah, like Cyril has said, you know, they've done very well. Michael Ryan has won a lot of games. You know, there's a lot of people, to be fair, didn't think that maybe he'd, you know, last as long as he even has. So there's great credit due to him and due to the team. And they've lost a lot of big players, marquee names over the last couple of years. And if they can tidy up on a bit of housekeeping, I think that, like Cyril says, there could be a serious force. Just one thing that's after coming into the game, and, you know, in terms of is working the ball out from defence. When the ball comes into any of these areas here and teams need to work out, you're better off working it out the wings. I like the idea of moving the ball through the lines. There's always an exception to every rule, and if you do go down the middle, it's high risk because you've got more players around the ball, and even if you're successful with that pass, then other players are going to come in and go into contact with the man on the ball. A perfect example of it is here. You see Stephen O'Keefe gathering the ball, gives it to Liam Lawler. Liam Lawler has a couple of options. He could come out the wing. He's also got 2 men inside. He takes the option of going into the high-risk territory to illustrate what I'm on about. And Shane Dooley gives a great finish. It just increases the risk if you are playing that style which Waterford are playing. And just to illustrate it again, in the second half, you're going into territory where there are a lot of bodies. If you are working it out from defence, you're much better off to work from the wings. In terms of housekeeping, this is the last day. Look at the way they're set up. Look at all the Clare players that are outside versus 2 Waterford players. That's asking for trouble. Kevin Moran, maybe we're a bit harsh on him here, makes a mistake going across the goals. You need to try and come out your wing in those situations. I know you might say the momentum was with him, but all those things added up can make a difference at the end of the year. If Waterford can tidy up in that, they could be a serious force yet.
All right, well, what about Offaly, Liam? I mean, Ollie Baker made the point there 8 months before another game. You have sympathy for them.
Yeah, I do, because in Offaly, like, they're working off a very small base, but they have some really, really good hurlers, and you see them in their club situation as well. Like, they've had the contenders in 2 different teams in the last 2 finals, you know. So, I mean, there is a lot of good hurlers there, but it's not going to benefit Offaly, as Ollie rightly points out. I mean, the right thing for Offaly to do would be to train on until the end of September, so as they'd be on a level every minute. But obviously there's a whole cost agenda that comes into play, and obviously, you know, county boards aren't cash rich right now, which is a difficulty.
But is it hard to motivate a team to keep training if there's nothing at the end?
Yeah, I think that's something maybe you got to look at. You know, for the ones that come out early, I mean, you've got to try and keep all the hurling counties going. Would it be
have a shield or something,
or a holiday? I think players, if you want players to buy into something, if there's a trip, a nice trip away on the back of that, maybe that would be enough to get players, because like the All-Ireland medal can't be, like there's only one All-Ireland medal to play for, and everyone knows that. But like really, if you want to progress, you can't just think about this year's All-Ireland medal. You know, for Offaly it's got to be, where's the All-Ireland medals going to go in the next 5 or 6 years? And there's a core bunch in Offaly that are very, very good hurlers, and their spirit and their determination is something that I definitely admire. But I think, you know, you have to be trying to train all year through, and as I said, Division 1B, we need to get more teams into Division 1A and get them up. Like they went toe to toe with Waterford today, or last night. You know, they were close enough to Kilkenny. So like they have proven in the last number of matches that they can play at this level.
And what elements of their game impressed you?
Well, I just think, like, you know, there's an art of high fielding that isn't available. You know, that you can't. You know, if you're a coach, you're going to struggle to coach this. And this is something that, you know, you really got to have. You got to be a brave player. And like Offaly, I think right around the field, they have numerous players that can just snap a ball out of the sky. And I think it's, you know, for a full back line to be able to go on the edge of the square, right in front of your own goal, and to grab that ball out of the sky. And like their full back, David Kenny. You know, he caught 2 or 3 absolutely mammoth catches, and like they have it at both ends of the field. Joe Bergen, you know, got 2 great points in play, but again, you know, his ability to win primary possession right throughout the field, and like, you know, again, like wherever they get, and like to be able to set up attack after attack like that, you know, if they just had 1 or 2 more crisp forwards that could break onto the ball, because they are able to create the chances through primary possession, and if it could just be a little bit more slicker, because really, you know, 9 points the last day, 14 points last night, they're not really getting that scoreboard ticking over enough. But like there is definitely something to build on there, and I would feel for Ollie Baker and Offaly to see, obviously losing, but you know, I'd have a view, obviously championship is knockout, but you know, we have to find some way of keeping these teams playing right up to the end of September, in my view.
Okay, Liam, thanks for that. Well, still to come on the programme, Pat's